Welcome back to Esoteric Guardian. In today's analysis, we will delve into one of the most enigmatic symbols, laden with hidden meanings throughout history, Baphomet. Over the centuries, this figure has sparked fear, fascination, and numerous interpretations. From the medieval accusations against the Knights Templar to its adoption in modern occultism, Baphomet has remained a mystery for all who have encountered it. It is easy to see Baphomet simply as an icon associated with evil or the demonic. But as we delve deeper into its history, we find that its origin is much more complex. Its symbolism is full of esoteric and hidden references that go beyond simplistic explanations. In this report, we will unravel the layers of Baphomet, from its roots in Templar tradition and its evolution during the Renaissance, to its role in modern occultism and its influence on contemporary esoteric movements. To begin understanding Baphomet, we must return to one of the darkest chapters in medieval history, the fall of the Knights Templar. This military religious order, which was brutally persecuted in the early 14th century, lies at the heart of the Baphomet myth. What started as an accusation of heresy and idol worship became the foundation for one of the most powerful and controversial symbols in history. But to comprehend how Baphomet became what it is today, we must first understand what happened to the Templars and the role the figure of Baphomet played in their downfall. The Knights Templar were an order of warrior monks founded in 1119, with the original purpose of protecting Christian pilgrims on their journey to the Holy Land. As the order grew in numbers and power, so too did their wealth, amassing lands, castles, and privileges that positioned them uniquely within medieval Christendom. The Templars were not only skilled fighters, but also influential bankers and administrators. Over time, their economic power came to rival that of many European royal houses. However, this power did not come without enemies. Most notably, King Philip IV of France eyed the Templars' fortune and influence with suspicion. In the early 14th century, in a desperate attempt to eliminate his debts and consolidate his power, Philip launched a massive accusation against the order, claiming that the Templars engaged in heretical rituals, sodomy, and most importantly, the worship of a pagan idol, named Baphomet. In October 1307, hundreds of Templars were arrested in a coordinated operation by the king. During their interrogations, many knights confessed under torture to having participated in ceremonies in which they worshipped a mysterious figure called Baphomet. Some described this figure as a bearded head, while others mentioned an idol with ambiguous characteristics. These confessions became part of the pretext used by both the church and the crown to dissolve the order and execute many of its members, including its last Grand Master, Jacques de Molay. However, confessions obtained under torture are far from reliable. The question that remains is, did an idol called Baphomet really exist? And if so, what did it represent? Over the years, numerous theories have emerged. Some suggest the worship of ancient pagan gods, while others propose that Baphomet was a symbol of esoteric knowledge the Templars may have acquired during their campaigns in the East. One of the most widespread theories suggests that the name Baphomet is a corruption of the name Muhammad, or Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam. In medieval Christian Europe, Islam was viewed with great suspicion and, in many cases, as a direct threat to Christendom. Some scholars have proposed that the accusations against the Templars were a way to link the order with Muslims, whom they had fought during the Crusades. According to this theory, the Templars were accused of adopting Islamic beliefs during their campaigns in the Holy Land, leading to their supposed worship of Baphomet. However, this theory has its detractors. While it is true that the Templars had contact with the Islamic world and may have learned from Eastern mystical philosophies in some cases, the idea that they adopted Islam is highly unlikely. In fact, Islam strictly forbids idolatry, making it hard to believe that one of the central figures of Islam, Muhammad, could have been transformed into a pagan idol. Even more intriguing is the possibility that Baphomet was not a concrete idol, but rather a symbol of hidden wisdom. In this sense, Baphomet could have been a cryptic term used by the Templars to refer to certain esoteric knowledge they had acquired through their contacts in the East. The Middle Ages was a time of significant cultural and philosophical exchange between the Christian and Muslim worlds. The Templars, through their travels, would have been exposed to mystical traditions such as Sufism, alchemy, and Gnosticism, all of which emphasize the importance of secret knowledge or gnosis for spiritual enlightenment. One of the most fascinating theories connects Baphomet to the Hebrew cipher known as Atbash. This is a cryptographic system in which the letters of the alphabet are reversed. When applying this cipher to the word Baphomet, some researchers have discovered that the resulting word is Sophia, which in Greek means wisdom. This suggests that, for the Templars, Baphomet was not a physical idol, but a symbol of divine and hidden knowledge, which they may have obtained through their esoteric studies. As we move forward in history, the figure of Baphomet did not disappear with the dissolution of the Templars. On the contrary, it began to evolve, taking on new forms and meanings in the esoteric and philosophical traditions that emerged in the centuries that followed. During the Renaissance, Europe experienced a revival of interest in ancient knowledge, alchemy, and the occult sciences. In this atmosphere, the figure of Baphomet began to reappear in esoteric circles, though its meaning remained nebulous. 1. Of the key moments in Baphomet's transformation was its reimagining in the 19th century by the French occultist Eliphas Lévy. Lévy was one of the first to give Baphomet the form we recognize today, an androgynous figure with a goat's head, wings, a caduceus in place of the phallus, and arms in a posture pointing both upwards and downwards, with the words solve and coagula inscribed on them. This Baphomet was not a demonic figure, but an alchemical symbol, representing the unity of opposites, the union of the spiritual and the material, the masculine and the feminine. For Lévy, Baphomet represented the alchemical process where the soul undergoes a spiritual transformation, dissolving impurities, solve, and then reforming them into a more perfect state. Coagula. In this sense, Baphomet was not just a symbol of esoteric wisdom, but also an allegory of the soul's journey toward perfection. Lévy's image, known as the Sabbatic goat, quickly became a central symbol in many occult traditions, influencing generations of esotericists and magicians. Additionally, Lévy connected Baphomet to Banib Diadet, an Egyptian god with a ram's head associated with fertility and creative power. This connection reinforces the idea that Baphomet was not an idol of evil, but rather a representation of the creative forces of the universe. Like Banib Diadet, Baphomet embodied the ability to generate life and transform matter, concepts deeply rooted in alchemical philosophy. Lévy's reinterpretation of Baphomet did not go unnoticed. His work influenced numerous occultists and esoteric thinkers of the 19th and early 20th centuries, including the influential British magician Aleister Crowley. Crowley, one of the principal promoters of the religion of Thelema, adopted Baphomet as one of his central symbols. For Crowley, Baphomet represented the union of opposites, a key principle in his philosophy. He also saw Baphomet as a figure of fertility and personal power, capable of transforming those who invoked it. In Crowley's writings, Baphomet symbolizes both the carnal nature of humanity and its divine potential. He often described Baphomet as a force that could be channeled to achieve personal enlightenment and unlock latent power in every individual. This view of Baphomet as an agent of personal transformation reflected the ideals of Thelema, where the pursuit of one's true will is the ultimate goal. Beyond being an esoteric symbol, Baphomet also became a figure of rebellion and defiance against social and religious conventions. Crowley, known for his disdain for established norms, used Baphomet as a form of provocation. In some of his writings, he even referred to himself as Baphomet, further strengthening his connection to this enigmatic figure. However, despite the positive reinterpretation of Baphomet in occult circles, the figure continued to be misunderstood in popular culture. In the 20th century, Baphomet was adopted by some Satanist groups who viewed it as a representation of rebellion against traditional religious structures. This, in turn, led many to mistakenly associate Baphomet with Satanism, despite its origins and symbolism being deeply rooted in esotericism and alchemy. Modern Satanism, particularly the Church of Satan, founded by Anton LaVey in 1966, played a major role in popularizing the image of Baphomet as a satanic symbol. LaVey, a provocateur with a keen understanding of pop culture, adopted Baphomet as the emblem of his church. In the version he promoted, Baphomet appeared in the form of the Sabbatic goat, designed by Eliphas LaVey, but surrounded by an inverted pentagram, further reinforcing its association with satanic symbolism. In this context, Baphomet came to represent the values of the Church of Satan, the affirmation of carnal desires, individual freedom, and the rejection of restrictions imposed by traditional religions, particularly Christianity. It is crucial to note that despite the visual association, the philosophy of the Church of Satan was not based on demon worship or theistic Satanism. In fact, LaVey was more of a nihilist than a theist. His Satanism was a form of rejection of conventional religious morality, promoting a focus on the individual, personal power, and the indulgence of life's pleasures without guilt. For LaVey's followers, Baphomet was not a deity to be worshipped, but a symbol of power and self-liberation, a reflection of hedonism and rebellion against moral repression. As Baphomet's image gained traction in popular culture, particularly within subcultures opposed to organized religion, it began to be seen as a symbol of rebellion and provocation. Extreme music bands, countercultural movements, and fringe groups adopted Baphomet as an emblem of opposition to established norms, solidifying its place in the collective imagination as a symbol of defiance against traditional authorities. However, this superficial perception has largely distorted the original esoteric meaning of Baphomet, sidelining its deeper symbolism and connection to occult knowledge and spiritual transformation. This is where a fascinating conspiracy theory comes into play. Some theorists claim that the promotion of Baphomet in modern Satanism and its integration into pop culture was no accident, but part of a deliberate effort by certain elites to divert the masses from the true esoteric meaning of this symbol. According to this theory, secret organizations with deep roots in the occult have manipulated figures like Anton LaVey to use Baphomet as a distraction tool, transforming it into an icon of superficial and countercultural Satanism, thereby steering people away from its real symbolic and spiritual power. According to this theory, the public image of Baphomet as merely a satanic emblem is a smokescreen designed to conceal its true associations with hidden wisdom and personal transformation. The proponents of this conspiracy suggest that certain secret societies connected to the global elite are aware of the real power behind Baphomet and use it in their private rituals, while the public is presented with a degraded and commercialized version of the figure. In this sense, Baphomet becomes a symbolic key connecting to deep esoteric mysteries that have been deliberately hidden for centuries, from the time of the Templars to modern occultism. This theory also ties into the idea that global elites are attempting to create a new global morality based on extreme individuality and rejection of traditional power structures, a plan to transform social norms by normalizing esoteric symbols like Baphomet in mass culture. This process, according to the theory, is a step toward the awakening of hidden knowledge, but accessible only to a select few, while the majority remain trapped in a simplistic and hollow interpretation of the symbol. While these theories may seem far-fetched, they underscore the power of Baphomet as a versatile symbol that can be adapted and recontextualized by different groups with varying agendas, revealing the ongoing tension between its esoteric origins and its modern cultural appropriation. In summary, Baphomet has traveled a long path from its early mentions in the trials of the Templars to becoming one of the most recognized symbols in modern occultism. Over the centuries, its image has been reinterpreted and reimagined by various cultures and philosophical currents, each adding new layers of meaning. For some, Baphomet is a representation of absolute evil. For others, it is a symbol of hidden wisdom, balance, and personal transformation. What is clear is that Baphomet, far from being a static figure, continues to be a source of fascination and mystery. Its ability to encapsulate such diverse ideas as duality, esoteric wisdom, and rebellion against social norms makes it a powerful and flexible symbol, capable of adapting to the needs of those who invoke it. Dear friends, I hope this journey through the mysterious origin of Baphomet has provided you with new perspectives on this symbol, so rich in meaning. If you've enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to receive more information on the mysteries of esotericism. And as always, watch carefully what's at the tip of your forks. Until next time.